An important lesson from the COVID-19 pandemic is the vital link between having a home and being healthy. Safe, affordable housing is healthcare. But what if you don't have a home or you lose your home because of job loss, serious illness, or having to flee domestic violence? How can you recover and maintain your physical and mental health if you do not have a home? The last time there were anywhere near this many tents in downtown Seattle was in the aftermath of the Great Fire of June 6, 1889. Back then, the tents were mainly for businesses such as hardware stores and the ever-present saloons, especially in the Skid Road area of what is now Pioneer Square. Seattle has weathered many boom and bust cycles and crises like the 1918 influenza epidemic, devastating fires, and earthquakes. Early in our city's history, the term Seattle Spirit was invoked to bring otherwise disparate people together to solve communal problems, to rebuild from the ashes. After the Great Fire and the earlier worldwide economic depression beginning in 1873, Seattle boosters positioned Seattle as the gateway to the Alaska Yukon-Klondike Gold Rush after a ship carrying a ton of solid gold from Alaska docked in Seattle on July 17, 1897. People flocked to Seattle. One of the men who came to Seattle was Alexander DeSoto, a recovering morphine addict who'd been living in the Bowery Street Mission in New York City and who was part of the Holiness Movement. DeSoto led a group, the Gospel Argonauts, on a cross-country proselytizing expedition. DeSoto arrived in Seattle and began calling himself Dr. DeSoto. Dubbed a practical mystic by bemused admirers, DeSoto lived with his homeless patients in an abandoned shed. Then, in a tenement basement, he named the Wayside Mission along the Seattle waterfront. Befriending philanthropists, he bought the former opium smuggling sidewheeler, the Idaho, and converted the boat into a hospital. Moored at the city dock at the end of Washington Street, the Wayside Mission Hospital opened in April 1900. The June 1900 United States Census for Seattle Precinct 1 in Skid Road records 60-year-old Alexander DeSoto, physician, as head of household of the Wayside Mission Hospital. Accompanied by 49 lodgers, including 2 female nurses, one of whom was 31-year-old Irene Byers, head nurse and future wife of DeSoto. DeSoto received funding from the City of Seattle for the care of patients addicted to morphine and of newly arrived indigent patients. The city agreed to pay for all countywide emergency cases since the King County Poor Farm and Hospital was not equipped to provide such care. In July 1904, the running of the renamed Wayside Emergency Hospital was turned over to Fanny Connor and Marion Baxter, social reformers. The hospital continued to function until 1909, when the Seattle City Hospital opened on Yesler Way. During the darkest months of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, city residents again invoked the Seattle Spirit. Seattle is home to practical mystics like DeSoto and to many innovative social policies and programs, including the Wayside Mission Hospital and, more recently, the Housing First model of care. Thousands of homeless people were rapidly rehoused during the pandemic, many placed in converted hotels and motels. Efforts are underway to expand on this success.